My name is Jim Wunderman. I am the President and CEO of the Bay Area Council. That's where you are. I want to thank everybody for being here today. We're going to start, we have a number of speakers, so we're going to have brief remarks from a number of speakers, several business leaders. I ask that everybody please keep their remarks quite brief. Except you, Governor. If you're the governor, you can talk longer if you want. And President Yudof from UC University of California, academic, can probably speak a little longer. We expect that. The reason that we're here today is because we are CEOs and business leaders from the major companies of the Bay Area, and we're here unequivocally to say that voters in the state of California should vote yes on Proposition 30. Now, let me tell you a little bit about how we came to endorse Proposition 30. The Bay Area Council, as an organization of businesses throughout the region, has a very vigorous process for determining the endorsements of the state ballot measures. We have a two-thirds vote. We have a two-thirds vote in the legislature. We have a two-thirds vote amongst our members. So it's not an easy thing. So we had, quite a robust conversation, a series of conversations over a couple of months. With extensive analysis and dialogue over the issue about passing the measure or being against the measure. In the end, we agreed that the most important thing is absolutely essential to stabilize California's fiscal situation and to protect our education institutions. And that is really what Proposition 30 is all about. Make no mistake, it is not easy at all for businesses to support tax increases. There's a Latin phrase, I know the governor's a big fan of Latin, it's ductus exemplo, and roughly translated it means lead by example. And that's exactly what the business community here today is doing and expressing. So with that, I want to introduce our first speaker. She's a great leader, business leader here in the Bay Area. She's Janet Lamkin. She's the chair of the Bay Area Council, and she's the California State President for the Bank of America. Janet Lamkin.
Thank you, Jim. As Jim indicated, the Bay Area Council supports Proposition 30, and we think it is critical that California voters pass Proposition 30. The governor has really laid out a very comprehensive, reasonable plan to save education in California, close our spending gap, and really put us on a foundation so that our economy can grow and we can create more jobs in California. Is that all that needs to be done? Absolutely not. But it is critical that we take this step so that we can work towards the future to make California internationally competitive as it is today. So on behalf of the council, we really want to congratulate and thank the governor for his leadership. We look very forward to working with him in the future on those critical issues. Thank you, Jim.
Thank you, Janet. The business community understands the vital importance of our education institutions, our K-12 system, and our universities. And with that, I'd like to introduce the president of the University of California, Mark Yudof.
I'm speaking today in my individual capacity, and I want to say that the members of the university community are solidly behind Proposition 30. We have a $2 trillion economy. We have an immediate problem in less than $20 billion, and to me, we can do this. And if we don't get this done, you will see an additional $375 million reduction in funding from the state to the university. You'll probably see double-digit tuition increases in the fall. You will see layoffs. You will see all sorts of things happen. At a university with 60 Nobel laureates, 40% poor kids, and $5 billion in research every year. And that would be a great injustice to the people of California. So let's get this done. Proposition 30 is the way.
The next speaker is our governor of California, Jerry Brown. When Governor Brown ran for this job, he said it wasn't going to be easy, but he was going to do all it took to get this job done. And we think he's doing just that, Governor Jerry Brown.
Thanks. Well, I join with all these business people in support of Proposition 30. You just heard the president of the University of California say unmistakably, 30 is needed for California, for the university. You got the shadowy committee, puts out a lot of phony noises saying, oh no, it's not for schools, it's not for the university, it's something else. Well, the teachers, the superintendents, the administrators, the principals, the professors, almost to a person, they endorse Proposition 30, and I join with them. Business people also understand without a good school system, without a vibrant university system, you can't grow the economy. So I think this thing comes down to a very stark choice. And I will invoke another Latin phrase, tertium non datum. And what that means is a third way is not given. There's only two ways forward. It's either yes, money to the university, money to our schools, or no, money out of our schools, money out of our university, and all the problems that will ensue for the state of California. So that's why I am spending every day that I can between now and the election going around asking people, look at the ballot pamphlet and vote yes on 30. Any questions?
Governor, you've talked about this proposal at various times as something that will help stabilize the economy,
Yes.
something that will help jobs, and yet in your ads say 100% of the money goes to schools. I mean, those things seem to most voters probably contradictory. Can you explain a little bit about?
Sure. First of all, the biggest part of our budget goes to schools. I think in the next year, because of the way Proposition 98 works, it could be I just declined it. Is that a recording or is that a telephone? You want to start over again? Wait a minute. Let's, you want to record this? Who are you, by the way?
PGO.
Okay, good.
Gotta give you better
Hey, we'll get a little. Why don't we get together in the hallway? Look, the school budget. I was just talking to the director of finance. I think of the general fund, it's something like 55, almost 60%. That's where the money's going.
But the ads say 100% of the money.
Well, it is 100%. Every dollar raised by this tax will be put in a special fund. It'll be audited. That money is only for schools.
So
That's true.
So it doesn't do anything for the.
Well, it does because schools are a big part of our problem. We've been cutting schools. We borrowed $9 billion from the schools in California, K through 12. Well, we got to pay that back. And this initiative puts California on a firm fiscal footing by investing in our schools in the way we've been disinvesting over the last several years.
If we could, I'd like to hold on the questions until after we've got a few more speakers. I just want to
Okay.
get through that if we could, please.
All right, we have a few more speakers. It gives you more time to rethink these questions. Caliber.
More time for you to think up more questions, just in case you need it. So we will hear from a series of business leaders who represent the group that's here today, all who endorse Proposition 30 and working on its behalf. The first is John Woolard. He's the president and CEO of Bright Source Energy. John Woolard.
Thanks. I'll be very short. I'm the CEO of Bright Source Energy. We build large-scale solar power plants. And as a member of the business community, I think we have a strong appreciation for, I'm also a citizen of Oakland, and I've watched Governor Brown as our mayor be very strong, thoughtful, and pragmatic, and I'm seeing the same here as governor. And I think that what we're looking at is tough work on expenses. It's already happened. And now a modest issue around revenue that's short-term and actually has a sunset to it. It's very well crafted, very well thought through, and it's good to see some clear and precise leadership. Hopefully this will pass.
Thank you, John. The next speaker is the president of AT&T California and a member of the Bay Area Council Executive Committee, Ken McNeely.
Good afternoon. AT&T employs about 40,000 employees across the state. We're heavily dependent on an educated workforce, and as a technology leader, it's absolutely critical that we continue to fund our institutions of higher education and continue to graduate students who are very capable of accepting these high technology jobs. So it's very important that we continue to fund these, and Proposition 30 supports these institutions, and that's why AT&T backs Proposition 30.
Thanks, Ken. Now let me introduce the Northern California president for Kaiser Permanente, also a very active member of the Bay Area Council, Greg Adams.
Thanks, Jim. Governor, as one of California's largest employer, Kaiser Permanente employs more than 110,000 people in California. We believe this one-time measure will benefit the residents of California, and especially our children and our young adults. Without Proposition 30 revenues, we will see even deeper cuts in budget areas that will have a direct effect on our growth and prosperity as employers. As you've heard already, our pipeline for highly educated and well-trained workers is already severely challenged. Without coming to the aid of our education system, we deprive ourselves of a skilled workforce that is also the backbone of our customer base. We really hurt ourselves twice. So we support this effort. We support the balanced approach. We encourage people to step up and do what is necessary, and that is to help the governor in his effort to pass Proposition 30. Thank you.
Thanks, Greg. The last speaker before we take questions is my colleague, the President and CEO of the San Francisco Chamber of Commerce, Steve Falk.